with House of Champs, and we are here with
Zach Butler.
And what did you do today?
Finished top 32 at the NAWCQ.
All right. Anything you want to say before we get into the deck?
The event was crazy. Apparently, playing fun decks is just the way to go now. Like, we were always playing fun decks, so that's what we're just doing now from now on. No more serious decks ever again. Don't quote me on that. Oh, I got this. That's cool. These are neat. Yeah, this card sucks, but I've never won one before, so neat. Now let's get right into the deck, I guess.
All right.
So we played 60 cards, Shiranui Zombie, Lightsworn Zoo. So for Lightsworns, you got 3 Wolves, Raiden, and Arcus. Only did 1 Raiden because it wasn't the greatest normal summon, and it doesn't progress your game state as much as we would like. And given like how Dryden is everywhere, getting mill 4 per turn really just didn't seem like it's going to happen that often. So we only played 1. We already have enough tuners as it is, and then 1 Arcus is really just to search off of the 10 keys or the Broad Bowl just for recharge. Its effect came up a couple times actually where it was relevant, but that's it for the Lightsworns. And then we've got crazy new engine. I played plants, so we got 3 Lone Fires, 3 Orphis Scorpio, and 1 Cobra. This engine was really good. Put me really far ahead of my opponents. It was also, you know, like 6 cards I'd usually deck thin by. It would give me my Brilliant Fusion, which also created rank 3 plays, as well as gave me extra food for snow and extra level 3s to synchro with, which came up a lot. This card sucks, as this is the worst one to draw, obviously. But it was our attack and Tomborg, so it was our little buddy. Then we played zombies, because they're cool. We have 2 Unizombies still, 3 Mizuki, somehow that card is at multiple, 3 Solitaires, and then 1 Spearmaster. This engine was really strong. Spearmaster, Solitaire is obviously just like the dream, and Mizuki and Unizombie are just broken. There's not much to say about that. We got the best monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, 3 Fairy Tale Snow. It's really good, except against Masterpiece. That's like a god card versus my deck. One of the big reasons I want to play this deck too is just because Snow is insanely good against Pure Zoo, and given how like the last 4 events have gone, I figured Pure Zoo was gonna be all we were gonna see really. So if I want to play a deck that could do that, and I didn't feel confident in the Zoo, so we just played this because I like Snow. It worked out pretty well. I don't actually like Snow though. I hate the cold. Shout out to the polar bears that ran the convention center. Nice 8 degrees. We played Zoo, so we played 2 Rats. No more because we don't have a pest problem. 1 Ram and 1 Whiptail. This card wasn't that great. Really at all. I didn't like searching Axe of Despair, but I did it. Ram came up a lot though. Off of a Rat, I can end with Trident and Kagasuchi and some other cool plays. I don't do the mill 10 combo. That combo is awful. It requires you to play bad cards. Only 4 Zoos. We didn't need any more than that. And then we played the Gemini engine. We got 1 Lazuli, 1 Haruko. These 2 together obviously are just, the best things to send. It's even better when you draw them and all your Brilliant Fusions in future matches. That's really good. If you get to do this, you're just obviously really far ahead. Otherwise, you could just send this or this. Send this with Snow, which I did have to do a lot. But this is obviously the best. This just makes it so your Kagasuchi can become Amaterasu or vice versa. So it just gives you more access to your extra deck. You have 3 Ash and a Max C for my hand traps. The reason why I played Ash is because it is a level 3 zombie tuner, as well as its effect. So all of those reasons are incredibly important, because being level 3 means obviously I get to do rank 3s or level 7 synchros, or level 8 if I have my Seraphinite out. Being a zombie means it's useful with Mizuki, and then getting to shut down Desires is great. People were playing into Ash blindly game 1 because they were just expecting no one to be maining Ash, because for the last 2 ARGs no one was doing it as much. Except for Justin Singh, apparently. He was the only one that was all about that line. Then for spells, you have 3 Barrage, 3 Tenki, 3 Brilliant Fusion, 3 left arms. A lot of people have asked how many times this got ashed. I only had it ashed once, because one of the things with this deck was, even though I haven't had a chance to playtest as much for Nationals as I wanted to, I realized that since this deck was weaker, I just had to make sure I was sequencing my plays even more carefully than previously. So this was always, unless my hand was absolutely just like the worst, was always used last. So I would use it after like any of these, and the lone fires, the charges, the recharges, and just try to bait out ash that way. And then if they let all of that go, and they still ashed this, they were so far behind, by that point I just didn't care. One of the big cards of the weekend, 3 Shuffle Reborn. This card was nuts. It synergizes with this deck so well. There were multiple times where I would just like shuffle back Lightsworn monsters to mill off Minerva, Invoker. I shuffled back Trident once. I shuffled back Seraphinite, just to like get rid of it. I shuffled back like dead Brilliant Fusions just to get cards off the field. It's just really crazy. And then it also just like makes your going second infinitely better, because that's one of the things that this deck can struggle with, is going second into Trident or going second into back rows, because you just have an inherently, like, you have so many pushes because of this. This basically replaces the instant fusion. Then we have 3 My Body as a Shield, also for going second, because I don't like Trident. We have 3 Solar Recharge and 2 Charge. Zendra was fairly consistent, though I generally side out of 1 recharge in between games 2 and 3, because it's more of a brick card, because I only have 5 targets. But, I mean, it's kind of a necessary thing. Makes your deck more consistent. Also makes it brickier. That makes sense. Sometimes you want to see it, but sometimes you don't. But sometimes you draw it, and that's good. Foolish Burial. Don't really explain anything about that. Soul Charge. It's the very fun and fair card. I told our lovely cameraman Aaron that if I did top, it was going to be on the back of Soul Charge and Grass, and I meant it as a joke. And it was legitimately on the back of these cards. Like, anytime I drew them, I just almost. There's only one game I did not win where when I drew this, and I resolved, or like drew or searched it. Every single game I resolved Soul Charge, I won. So those cards should not be legal. But, thanks, Jerome. That was the main deck. That was 60. Got to talk about our boy Yugi and the Pharaoh. You know, dueling it out, heart of the cards and all that junk. It's my fam. That's what got me through this weekend. For the extra deck, we got Seraphinite, 2 Omega, not 3. I don't really think you need a third one, honestly. Stardust Dragon. This is what replaced the 3rd Omega. I just wanted to make sure I could have answers to board wipes and just like counter my body. Problem-solving card text is a great thing, and that's why sometimes you need to use newer, lower rarity versions of cards, because this can stop Diagram, which I thought of on Friday and forgot. It can also stop True King's Return and Barrage and all the other True King cards, but I forgot about that. But in general, this card was really useful. I would usually just make this and like Trident with a Snow and Graveyard, and that was just enough to get me there. Then we have Black Rose Dragon. This I just picked it from Ned Salkovic after the UDS in Vegas, where I got Savage because he Black Rose me for like 7 cards. Because no one plays around it, because no one expects you when you get back to Unizombie with a level 4 to just ask them if they have a response, and they say no, and you're like, sweet, it's Black Rose Dragon. That came up a lot actually, so that was really good. Michael. This is how I played around Ram Ram. You know, had to ask people if they'd read it. This card is just crazy. And that was it for the non-Xyz. And then we have Invoker, Amaterasu, Kagasuchi. These are the cards I played to use with Haruko. People just don't know what this card does. Like, they had to read it multiple times. They understood Kagasuchi, they just did not understand that this card will put me so far ahead. Haruko gives you a monster special summon off of it already, and if you have a Snow, you just go so far ahead that they cannot win. Minerva, we were never using the Secret Rare. We're always using the real one. I was joking about using a German secret rare and then using this as my translation. We were never about that life. No Walmart brand here. Tornado Dragon. This actually replaced Emerald in the extra deck. The only things that really hurt this deck a lot, other than like Trident, plus another live Trident somehow on turn 1. I don't know how you'd manage that. Is Trident plus back rows, or any monster plus back rows, because back rows are the problem for this deck since I'm not maining my Twin Twisters and stuff. And this takes care of the back rows. It also gives you more food for snow, and Emerald reduced that, and the extra draw I could make up for with my Shuffle Reborn, so there's no need really to do that. And then we have Tiger Mortar. Chakanai, this card is crazy. People do not understand the value of just getting back a monster to use as a free level 4 for Synchros. Broad Bull, which was significantly weaker than Chakanai, and Trident, or Dracossack if you're me this afternoon. And then finally the side deck, we've got 2 Ghost Reaper. This card sucked. Never used its effect. It is a great card to discard off of Twin Twister. It's a great card to discard off of anything. Or just normal summon because it's a zombie tuner, which did come up. Other than that, I never used it for its effect. 3 Flying Sea. Obviously just good against Zoo. I had to save it for when they activate Barrage to pop itself. And I was like, neat. I just can't do anything. 2 Gamma Seals. Wish I would have drawn those against either of my Draco opponents. That would have been cool. Regaiki. Just for going second, really. 3 Twin Twisters for when we were going second, because we don't like back rows. 3 Dimensional Barriers, because it's skip your turn. And Imperial Order, for when you draw this. And if you have this and Snow, any spell will go through. That is not continuous, because it's not face up on the field to be negated. And it'd be great if people understood how these cards work, since they were English earlier, this was English earlier. And they still just didn't understand that it's a skill drain for spells. So when I activate Charge, I still search. Yeah. That was the deck.
Alright, so my question would be, why Zombie Swarm? Did you have any other decks in mind, or what was the mentality for playing the deck?
So I'd been playtesting when I had a chance, which wasn't too often, with Zoo, leading into the event, and then I decided to use the Friday of pre-registration to get a little bit more playtesting in. And so I did some side events, and I was like, oh, that should be a good indication of how comfortable I am. And I entered 3 with Zoo, lost all 3. Like, I don't think I went to game 3 in one of them at all. And there's all to mirror matches, and I was like, well, I'm definitely not going to do 12 rounds of Zoodiac mirror matches successfully. That's for sure. So I was like, well, rather than play a deck I don't like, because I don't like Zoodiac at all. It's boring. It's dumb. I'm sick of seeing Ratpier. Not Ram though, that's my boy. Not Whiptail though, we were never searching Axe to Despair. But rather than do 12 rounds and just hope I magically do well with that deck, with no real advantage going in, I was like, well, I guess I can just kind of play and have a fun deck. And Aaron, and then Shay, my lady, and Jason Meyer, Canadian Sausage, kind of all nudged me to play Lightsworn, like without just being like, you should just play Lightsworn. Actually, Shay said that. And I just was like, well, I guess I'll play Lightsworn. It's a fun deck and see how we do. Hopefully we make it past round 5. And we'll just have fun with it and see how far I get. And then I was like, well, let's just play 60 because no one's playing Ash.
That was going to be my next question, was the downtrend of Ash a big factor in choosing to play it?
Absolutely. This would not work again. Now that people, like, realize how... I mean, it's not obviously not going to work again because Blink format comes up and there's, like, poops on this deck. But, yeah, there not being Ashes in the main deck for this event because it was just not a good card against Pure Zoo was definitely a big part of it, I think. Also, people just, it sounds awful, we're just tilted by the moment they saw that I was playing 60. It was like they were automatically upset for the most part, and I think that was definitely part of it.
So what would you say your worst matchup is was going into the weekend?
Oh, that's true, Draco. That is anything with Masterpiece. That card is amazing. Card is so good. Too bad the rest of the deck sucks. That card is crazy. Like, if you summon Masterpiece against me, congratulations, you got a free buy. I can't out that card. I outed one Masterpiece all weekend, and that's because I forced my opponent to tribute the ultra rare trap, Return, and some monster, and then I ripped Raigeki going in at a time, and I was like, we did it, boys. We done boys. And it was great. But other than that, I can't out that card ever. I have literally 2 Gambit Seals in my extra deck, because I took out whatever that level 8 synchro is that everyone wants to play. That's like $25 now, the gold rare. Beals.
Beals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, Beals is so good against the deck. And I was like, yeah, but I don't think I'm going to play against the deck at all. maybe 1 or 2. Sure. I was like, I might play against a Draco Zoo or 2, but I have a better matchup with that than True Draco.
Sure.
So that was cool.
Sure. And you feel like your best matchup then
Oh,
was
Zoo
definitely
is 100% like the
Zoo.
freest match. Like, it sounds awful considering how I got smashed on stream.
But that had a splash of Draco though. It was a masterpiece.
No, I meant more the first one with Chris,
Oh,
where I
yeah.
misplayed. You know, game 3 should never have happened. That's no big deal. Not mad about that. It's supposed to be the swiftest 2-0 of 2017.
Right.
It's okay though. No, I have a really good matchup against Pure Zoo, just because they deck thin so much. They don't play Ash because they don't want to lose the mirror match, and my deck just they usually have like a 2 summon limit. Usually, like outside of like they have like 2 monsters on the field at the end of the turn, whereas like I'm sitting here summoning like 10 total. My top 64 match, my game 1, I went through 13 cards of my extra deck on turn 1, and still had like a fully loaded graveyard for Snow and stuff. And I was like, you were never winning this game. That's like the best matchup ever. Like I from round 1 on was like I just want to play nothing but Zoo. If I played 12 Zoo decks, I feel like outside of Chris, I could have just beaten pretty much anybody.
How many Zoo did you end up playing before Top Cut?
9.
9?
I played 9 Zoo, 1 Windwitched Invoke, 1 Draco Zoo,
And 1 unknown.
and 1 Pure Draco.
Sure.
And that was my first loss. And he ended up bubbling out,
Sure.
I think. I'm pretty sure he bubbled out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right on.
And then top 64 was Pure Zoo. And then top 32 was Draco Zoo. And I knew the whole match was over the moment he, turn 1, just summoned Dweller. And I was like, oh.
He knows what I'm playing.
I see him playing against the one person in the room who's playing Dweller.
Right.
Interesting. I guess we were never making it to Japan. That's fine, I didn't want to go to Japan. I'm not mad at all. Also, really quick, I told this guy, I told Chester, and if you're watching this video, you're an awful human being. Congratulations, but I'm mad at you. You beat me. I told him, as I'm shaking his hand, that he's gonna go to World and he's gonna win. Because my 2 top cut finishes, I've lost to the winner. And then ARG Chicago a couple years ago, I played against Matt Kalenda when he won, and I was like, oh, you're gonna win this. He's like, why? I'm like, you just are. And so the moment Chester won, I was like, you're gonna go to Worlds. You're gonna win. Congratulations. He's like, what? I was like, it's just gonna happen. It's fine. So next year I'm just gonna beat myself. I'll be the first duelist to go to Worlds by beating themselves. Played myself.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Another one.
So any shout outs, anything you want to toss out at the end
A
here,
ton.
or whatever?
Before I forget for the millionth time, because I feel awful, Corey and Cenas, I have forgotten you in every video. I love you. Thank you for the UDS, Matt. That was my good luck charm. We were never not playing on that. Every round, except for the features. That's why I lost the features.
Oh, snap.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a conspiracy. Konami learned the source of my power. Pro Play Games hooking me up with a bunch of sleeves and a bunch of foreign cards that I really did not need, but I love them. Aaron Thompson for recording, helping me, Theory, whenever we actually discussed Yu-Gi-Oh! And pretended like I was going to play Zoo. My girlfriend Shay for driving us down and dealing with me and talking me into playing, even though I kind of wanted to not play on Saturday at all, actually. Oprah You're my inspiration. Everyone gets a Minerva.
Yep.
Who else? All my people from Minnesota. Cody Thoring for telling me that he wanted his nips out in a message. That was weird. Trying to think of who else. There's other people, and I feel really bad. There's so many. Everyone who I'm forgetting. This is like the 90th profile I've done today, and I'm really tired, and I just want to go to bed. But we're never not topping with Lightsworn, apparently. Also, eat it. All of you people who don't like grass, eat it. We still have one.
All right, man. Well, we're all super proud of you. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to House of Champs. We're doing this video on your channel.
Yeah.
Hi, John.
All right. Well, later, YouTube.